So, Kukuli and I have known each other for a long time.
When we were young.
And I don't know if you recall Tamiya. How many people went to see Tamiya down at the Museum of Chinese America? She mentioned a gentleman called Robert Blackburn and his printmaking workshop.
Yeah.
Well, Bob Blackburn gave me a call and said, Marina, I have someone you should meet. I want you to call her up, meet her. Okay.
Bye.
And that was Kukuli. And so he gave me one of my best friends ever. So thank you, Bob, wherever you are in the heavens. So I've known Kukuli for a long time, and was it, I saw somebody went, no, it had to have been before you. Somebody remembered going to your studio in the Bronx the other day, in the
Oh, really?
squat.
I
Yes.
think it was,
Was it you?
no, it was right before me. Omar?
Huh? Omar, that's who remembered it. You're right, thank you. I couldn't remember who said that. He said he remembered
That was
going
a
up.
while ago.
That was a long time ago,
You
but he's really old.
The lipo and everything, he was very descriptive about everything.
Yeah, he had like a
That's
drop light.
like 17 years ago at least.
He's old. But he remembered that. So anyhow, this is Kukuli Velarde. Should we go around again with intro real quick? Say your name, what you're interested in? You could do it really quick because she was paying attention to the baby before, so she didn't hear you. So let's start in the front here. You can just say if you're staff or not.
I'm Sam Chen, and I'm one of the staff, and I'm studying architecture.
You're saying what?
Architecture.
My name is Pablo. I'm a student, and I'm interested in architecture.
Architecture too?
Yes.
My name's Amir. Right now, I guess in Brooklyn Tech, my major is architecture for sophomore and senior year, and junior and senior year. And I have a lot of interest, so it's hard to say if I'm gonna do architecture or not. But right now, it's art and architecture.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Abby, and I'm interested in interior design, and I use cookies.
The cookies is a good pen.
Hi, my name is Faith Toro, and I'm interested in a variety of art, and yeah.
My name is Mariana. I'm interested in illustration and psychology.
Wow, what a combination.
My name is Helen, and I'm interested in illustration and narratives.
My name is Lauren, and I'm interested in graphic design.
My name is Natasha. I'm interested in dancing and drawing.
Dancing, that's nice. I used to dance. Okay, I'm sorry.
My name is Ahala, and I'm interested in architecture and civil engineering.
Wow.
My name's Angelique, and I love everything that has to do with it.
My name is Andrew, and I'm a teaching staff, and I'm currently studying architecture.
My name is Atisha, and I'm staff, and I'm in the art school. I'm interested in photography and drawing.
Hi, I'm Raisa, and I'm interested in art education and art therapy.
Nice.
My name is Nicholas, and I'm interested in architecture and civil engineering.
My name is Malik. I'm interested in art and music.
My name is Dominique, and I'm interested in art, architecture and abstract science.
Okay, my name is Kukuli, and I don't know yet what I'm interested, but right now I'm interested in maternity. Every time that I do my presentations, I always feel like I have to explain first where I come from because of the kind of work I do. So the first thing I put, as you can see, is the map of Peru, which is in South America. Amazingly enough, there are people who ask me where Peru is. So I say it's in that continent on the other side, which is below you. Yeah, it would be better with the lights down. They are not dimmering, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's Peru, and I'm actually from this area, Cusco. Have anybody heard about Cusco?
Yes.
Who has not heard about Cusco? You haven't? Okay.
I'm one of your neighbors in that continent.
Yeah?
Not close neighbors, but I'm from Guyana.
Okay, so you know South America, how it looks like, and what are the countries there, and so on. But, it's okay when people don't know, especially when I was in South Korea last year, and I can understand because I really cannot tell you, like Taiwan, how close to which countries there are. I know more or less what is the situation, which are the countries in Asia, but I don't know, so I understand that they didn't know where Peru was sometimes. But when it's here in the States, it's really kind of interesting. The second thing I talk about is the history of Peru. This is Machu Picchu in Cusco. This is also Machu Picchu, the Intihuatana, which was a sacred altar all the way there in the back. And Peru has had many, many, many cultures before the Spaniards came in 1492 first, and to Peru in 1532 with Francisco Pizarro. There were a lot of cultures that existed and faded before the Incas became an empire. One of them was this, Moche. And there I am in Cusco, the main square. So the Spaniards came and they conquered us. And unfortunately, everything that was known and done until that time stalled. A new aesthetics came, and I always wonder what it felt for the people when a different aesthetics came and you were told that whatever you liked and whatever you were was not anymore. And that has, in a way, I realize in retrospective, the reason for my work. What it is to be colonized. I come from a country that is colonized, and the consequences are felt even now. As you can see, this is very metaphorical to me because you can see the Inca wall here, and then you can see the Spaniard construction. This was Coricancha, a sacred temple, the main sacred temple of Cusco. And the Spaniards came and they began to build over the constructions from the Incas. And that is Santo Domingo. They just put a sacred place over a sacred place.
So they built directly on top of the...
Yeah, you can see it. They just went directly. So to me, that is like a metaphor of what happened to us. Everywhere there was... Everywhere began to sprout these layers of Europe over something that still existed, but then instead of existing, became to just surviving. My English is not that great, as you can see. I have many years living here, but I will never learn, and I don't really care either. But anyway, so all of this that I'm showing you is the landscape that I've seen since I was born. This is in Lima, and that's my husband, when we were a little younger. And this is just a view from the balcony of my mother's house, where you can see a little procession coming through. Peru is very Catholic. I think that Catholicism was a weapon of destruction. And it amazes me that up to now it's still the main religion in Peru, in spite of all the history that we have with it. And Peru is also a very, it's a very modern country in many ways too, especially in the cities, especially in the capital, in Lima. In the capital of Peru, we have like 10 million people living. And we have extreme poverty next to extreme, luxury? Huh? Wealth. Yes. I write better than what I talk. I can tell you that. It's a shame I cannot read because then you guys would be sleeping. If at this point you are not sleeping, I'm really very, very impressed because you have already talked to another, you have seen another artist outside from here. Then you have seen that, then you are seeing me. If I were you, I would already be like, you're young. What else can it be? the other thing that is important for me and is to show what are the people I come from. And we are a mix, but we are a mix that is not completely, we are a combination that is not completely mixed. That would be right. We have the population from the Andes, and we have the regular population from urban areas, and we have the people who are in power, who are the ones on the top, that are politicians. So we are a mix of histories. We have Western culture, and then we have the culture, the pre-Columbian cultures is still surviving in one way or another. And they don't mix. And finally, we have all this religious iconography that surrounds us everywhere, every day. And we have the traditional arts. So when I talk about my work, I like to show all these images because all of this is where I come from. And also my family, my parents, when they loved each other. And another kid. I just had my baby. I don't know where she is now. I had a child. And in my childhood, I was a prodigious kid. At least that's what my father says. I was drawing since I was 3. And in the moment that my father realized that I liked painting and drawing, he felt that he finally found his voice that could be heard through me. And that was beginning to show later. Here I'm still young, but he's already like wanting me to paint and to draw every day. It became a job almost. I had an exhibition every year, a solo exhibition every year since I was 10 until I left Peru. So I draw too, and these drawings I do without any plan, without any pencil, without anything. I just go to the wall, do the first drawing, and let's see what happens afterwards. I like that. If I were to plan, I would find it too boring, too unbearable to continue. It has to be fun to me. Oh, when did you come here? And this is my series, Plunder Me Baby. The title is as important as the piece. These all are pieces that are supposed to be in a museum, waking up and saying, "What? Salud, salud," and thinking, you know, what the hell is happening? Where am I? Who is these people? I don't like it, basically. So this is the original piece, and this is my piece. Same here. And all the first phrase is a racial slur that is very frequent in Latin America against people of native origin. Yeah, really. It's one of the consequences of being colonized. We hate ourselves.
Yeah.
So all these pieces are based in different ceramic work. For example, this is from the Tamaco Tolita culture from Colombia, Ecuador. And this one is from Guanacaste, Nicoya de Nicaragua y Costa Rica. Y los insultos son del área también, porque en Perú nosotros no sabríamos qué significa hincha neneca.
So, translation for those of you who didn't catch the Spanish, the insults, the first line.
Oh, I said it in Spanish? Really? Oh,
Culture is
sorry.
from a particular
I'm sorry.
locality, and so is the phrase. It's an insulting racial phrase.
I'm sorry. Wow, this is the first time I didn't realize completely that I was
Some people followed you.
some are like whatever. And this is the way I presented it. I wanted it to be like a storage shelves, and this was in Garth Clark here in New York. All of them have the heads, so that you have an idea of the size, are human size. All of them.
So how much do those weigh?
Those go from, I think, from 30 to 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, some of them, like this one probably is 20 pounds, you know. They're right. I never count the small ones. This is another presentation of the same series that it just has new pieces there because I continue working. I never work for a show. I work for myself. And this is some of the same pieces in Peru in an exhibition that I had with my paintings. And this is, to me, the idea presentation. These showcases are actually coming from the Archaeological Museum of Lima. And these are the paintings I do. Santa Chingada again. This is me, how I would look like if I wanted to be a pinup, and I know, 15 years younger, at least. My legs would have to be longer, and I would have to have more of you know what. And that one is my dog that is 19 years old, and we are waiting every day for her departure, but she's very stubborn. She has everything, you know, everything. Her heart is that, I think her whole chest is her heart is enlarged, and she has stomach issues, she has arthritis, she cannot see, she's completely deaf. And we have taken her to the doctor twice, you know, and twice the doctor has said, well, give her a couple of days. If she doesn't come back, then, and she comes back. That dog loves life. So this is one, for instance, one of the paintings which photographs I took to Peru for my father to see. And he was so happy, but at the same time was like, but he would tell he was very proud of me. He would tell his friends, you see how well my daughter paints? But look at the painting! What are you looking at?
Oh my God.
My mother always tells me, but couldn't you paint yourself a little nicer? You always paint yourself in the worst. Mom, that's how I look. No, but you don't have to be, you don't have to do that to yourself. You know, what is the point? I did this painting a month after my father died. It's me with myself. Me when I began drawing a tree. Yeah, that's my head.
Who's holding it?
And the archangel is a very characteristic. This is a very characteristic image that belongs to the Cusqueñan School of Art from the 18th century, from Cusco, Peru. You can see a lot of archangels in churches, a lot of them. And I never liked them because they, first of all, they have always swords or rifles. Well, at that time was not rifles. ¿Cómo se les llama esos? Esos antiguos, los rifles antiguos. And they always look mean to me. I remember there was one in my house that I really didn't like at all. So thinking about that one, I made this painting.
So should we take from this that you're not a religious person?
Yeah, I think that would be safe. This is Santa Rosa and her temptations. Santa Rosa is one of our saints. Between you and me, I think she was a little crazy. She was a martyr, and she did horrible things to herself, like putting a chain in her waist, and then, growing, and the chain getting in her. I mean, who would do that in her, And then she had all these poems that were very sensual, to say the least, but everything would finish, something like, "For you, Jesus." So all of these very ambiguous, like my breath is waiting for your breath to touch, or things like that. And then at the end you put Jesus, then you completely change the whole. But until Jesus, you are like, wow, Anyway, this I dedicated to my husband. This is his arm, and this is my arm, and this is the heart of a little bird. In a village in Peru, the people believe that a little bird can help you to get the love of the man you love, being a woman. Women are the ones who do that there, I don't know. Men just don't want to show what they feel. Women, we have no problem with that. So the woman goes to the shaman or whatever, and tell him about the pain in her heart and whatever. I do a lot of whatever, right? Anyway, whatever. And he gets a little bird that is known as turtupilin. He takes a turtupilin and he goes with a needle and a white thread and goes through the heart. And it comes like a red thread. Obviously the bird dies. And to me and then he gives the red thread to her, and she has to embroider the name of the guy, so that, with that he will come to her.
Wow.
I always wonder, how can it be possible that in love the only one that dies is a little bird in this story? And also it's kind of poetic at the end that the heart of a little bird can hold the love of two people. It's crazy. But anyway, I just painted that. I'm doing that to myself because I'm my husband's turtupilin. And I put a heart here with his arm and my arm touching. This is me as a martyr. Super martyr. I have everything. I have you name it. My eyes are out, my breasts are out, I'm pierced by arrows, I am in fire. That's super martyr, because usually martyrs only have one suffering. I had them all. A friend of mine came to see this painting, and he was like, oh wow. And he remembered the painting that it's based. It's an Italian paint from the 1500s. And he said, and you have even got the body of a young adult or a young boy. I said, no, that's my body. And he was like, oh really? Yeah, really. I don't care,
How big are these paintings?
Life size. All the paintings are life size.
So what size is the piece piece of metal. It's on a
6 by 4.
4 by 6?
6 by 4.
6 by 4.
I know you say the same thing, but I. It sounded like you were correcting me, right? Any other
So
questions?
those of you who did the deep drawing last week, 7 by 42, have a sense of how large this is.
This is another one of the drawings. Those bodies are up to, are big, are like life size too. Sort of. And at the end, I paint them white because they don't belong to anybody. They are just memories. And I'm telling you, I never know what I'm going to draw. That's the fun of it. I like doodling. It's a big doodle. There's my baby. And this is the last series I'm working on, and here in particular I show them with the elements that are part of the work, like the face of that woman I use for his face. And these are the ceramic, the pre-Columbian elements, the colonial element, combined all of them to produce that piece. Corpus is a procession in Cusco that happens since 1532. And in Cusco, there were like 350 huacas, or sacred places in the Inca era. And when the Spaniards came, they said, this is over, and they put saints and virgins in top of each of them. And then they built later on churches and small temples over them. But then they say that in this procession of 15 saints and virgins that come from some of these places, the pre-Columbian entity still survives. It's still there. And they know some of them. They know who they are and so on. So I found that amazing that these pre-Columbian entities were still alive.
So are you saying that there's another sculpture inside of that?
No. It's that people see the pre-Columbian entity on them.
So they read that like a syncretized.
It's syncretized.
Like Santa Barbara is Shango from the Caribbean.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah. So thinking of that, I'm remaking the 15 saints and virgins, but I'm making, instead of making the colonial image, what I do is I try to take the pre-Columbian spirit forward. I bring it forward.
Oh, modern.
No, like this is the saint, right? San Blas. So I take some elements of San Blas. Like I took the bishop, he doesn't have the bishop hat there, but he has it here. I took the bishop hat and I took this silver over morado. ¿Cómo se dice morado? Purple. And I reproduced that sort of, because I never look at exactly how things are, otherwise it would be too boring. I just invent my own. And I took this Nazca piece and I combined these two things with this to create this San Blas, my version of San Blas, the entity that is underneath him. Now, for example, this piece that you see here is like this. The piece that I made is the head is life size. The piece is like this. And here I reproduce the halo very closely.
Is that corn?
It is supposed to be ayapaek, who was an entity in the Mochica culture. Okay, so this piece is the one I made from this too. And that's me. I had these pieces at the biennial, at the Gyeonggi International Ceramic Biennial in South Korea. And I got the grand prize just last October. And this is how they were shown there. And that's it. I'm sorry if it was too long.
So questions?
Can I
Still
go?
awake, you guys?
I'm sorry if I went too long.
Question in the back?
Gigi.
Go
Gigi.
ahead, go ahead.
I just wanted to know how did you transition to sculpture from painting, or did you like always do sculpture and then start painting?
No, I did painting before.
Okay.
I've done painting mostly. That was what I did for years and years. And then I got into ceramics.
Any other questions? Are you guys still awake?
Oh, yeah.
That's why we have those drugs rolling around.
Yeah, no.
I remember you said that your teacher in ceramics was telling you to make, to throw your forms on
To learn
the
to
foam
throw.
first.
To learn to
Did
throw.
Did you throw those forms, or are they just like solid?
They are no, never solid. Never. Can you imagine like this solid? That would be like. No, they are all hollow, but I built with the strips. With I made a slab and then I cut it in strips, and that's how I built.
Did you ever do like maybe a collab with your husband?
No, we haven't. Well, we are talking about having a show together, but our work is very different. And I think that's the formula for happiness.
So you never thought that, like, because you and your husband's work was so different, you never thought of, like, maybe combining it just to experiment?
That's the combination. Anything else?
So what are your future projects going to be now?
I'm going to Taiwan, to the Biennial of Ceramics in Taiwan, now in April. And then I have, we are talking about showing some work in the Museum of Latin American Art in California, and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Lima. But for Lima, you have to see the logistics. To take just 7 or 8 of my pieces, it costs like $40,000. It's very expensive. So they have to get a sponsorship and all that stuff.
How was your work received in Peru?
It was great because many people. It was very different than here. Very different than here. They here people see it from the artistic point of view, and in Lima there were a lot of people who were seeing it from the historical point of view. And I had like a couple of people at least that came with tears, literally with tears in their eyes, saying that I was talking about something that nobody wants to talk. And that is with the ceramic work, no? With Planter Me Baby and Corpus. And with the paintings too. With the paintings was interesting because a lot of people saw sexuality, that they thought they were very sexual, and I refuted that. I don't think they are sexual at all. That is not. We are used to see the female body as a sexual object. But the way that I was presenting, like I have a painting, I don't know if I had it there, of me pregnant. I finished the stomach like 2 days before giving birth. And I'm standing up like this, which is a position that it's supposed to be, you know, a woman showing her body, her beautiful body, right? It's a cliche position. And to me, it was like saying, this is beautiful. This is actually the most beautiful I ever looked at 47. It's the most beautiful I looked. But that is not the idea of beauty that we have in our culture. So the position was, in a way, trying to invite the audience to see me in what, you know, considering what really beauty is. You know what I mean? So that show was interesting. The way that people read it was, and there were other people who would say, you know, but what are you talking about? There's no racism in Peru. I'm like, you know, that's.
Is there racism in Peru?
You know, there's a character, there's an actor, a comedian, that has an hour program weekly, and he does 2 characters that are his most famous. One, he paints his face black, and it's El Negro Mama. That's his name. And he and he's a, you know, a stupid guy. He shows a stupid guy. And the other character is a woman, an Indian woman. And to the Indian woman is also a stupid Indian woman, a dirty, stupid woman. So when you ask the children in Lima, what do they think about the people from the mountains that come to the capital and so on, they say, oh, they are dirty, they are, you know, they are horrible, like La Chola Jacinta. That's the name of the character. So if you don't think that a country having a comedy program with characters like that is not racist, I don't know what racism means. It's really scary. And they tried to take them out of TV, and a lot of people supported the program. And a lot of people were writing, literally writing, but what's wrong with it? You know, people should get over it. There's nothing wrong. It's just you know, a healthy fun. We are just it's playing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just socially resented people who are coming and saying that. A lot of people think like that. It's very, very, very hard to deal with sometimes.
Thoughts, questions? You guys still awake?
Yeah, in your section where you live at,
Where,
what's,
in Philadelphia?
Yeah, what cultures are you exposed to besides Peruvian culture? Like, what kind of other races do you see there? Are there like
Where I live is a Latino community. Where I live, it's mostly Puerto Rican, Dominican, some African American, a little bit of Irish, and us. I don't see Peruvians. Peruvians are very. I don't like Peruvians. No, I don't see Peruvians. I don't know where they are. There's no Peruvian community. I don't think, you know, for me that my community are the artists, and my country is what, you know. I never looked for a community here. I have my own community there. Any other question? Thank you so much for not closing your eyes.
How could we?
I was going to ask a question.
Thank you from
Thank you very much. What could it be?
So this way you can learn to address your deficits in that you never do a sketch before a piece. So here you can sketch them all out. And
I do
become
numbers,
much
I do
better.
numbers. You know, when I see a photo of a ceramic and I want to make it bigger, I just make the drawing of the general image and then I measure. So I go, I need paper for that.